Good morning. Today we're going to talk about fractions and decimals. And we're going to learn how to convert a fraction into a decimal. Now, fractions and decimals represent the same part out of the same whole. And so if I have 1/4 and I wanted to show that I have 1/4 of a dollar. We don't really speak like that. Our money is in cents and nickels and dimes, and a cent is 1 out of 100, correct? 1 out of 100. When we look at 1/4 and we want to know what 1/4 of a dollar is, well, that's the whole that we're trying to figure out is 100. 100, there's 100 cents in a dollar. And so if we have 1/4 of a dollar, well, how can 4 become 100? And it would be times 25. And what we do at the bottom, we have to do at the top. And that would be 25. And so we know that 25 represents a quarter. Okay, so, but we don't write quarters in 1/4. We write them. We have 2/10, which is like a dime. There's 2 of them. And we have a 5/100th, which is like, and so that is how we write decimals. And so that's why we need decimals, and we also need fractions because we just represent them in different ways. But 1/4 of a dollar is still 25 cents, is still 25/100ths. So let's talk now about how we convert a fraction over to a decimal. And so if I had if I had 6/18, but I wanted it to be a decimal. Well, the way we would do that is we would need to recognize that a fraction is a division problem. And so our numerator is on top, our denominator is on bottom. If this falls over, then this would fall here, this would fall here, and this line would fall here. And we'll draw a line on top. And that's what it would look like. We would have the numerator being divided by the denominator. And that's just kind of a way to remember which one always goes in the house. I know that in our younger years of math that we're used to, always dividing the bigger number in the house. But when you have a decimal, it will be smaller that's why it's a decimal, because it's not a whole number. If this number is bigger than the outside number, then you will always get a whole number. If this number is smaller inside the house, you will always get a decimal, okay? So let's take 6/18, and we know that the numerator goes in the house. And so, be 6 divided by 18. So what we could do is we need to add a decimal because 18 cannot go into 6. So we're going to add a decimal, then we're going to add a 0. Remember when you add your decimal that you need to raise it to the roof up here, okay? So 18 can go into 60. 3 times So 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 1 is 3, 4, 5. So that's 54. 3 times 18 is 54. We subtract it, and we're going to get another 6. And so it looks like it's going to keep repeating. I'm going to add a 0, bring that down. Yep, we have the same thing. 3, so that's 54. And 60 subtract 54 is 6. We're going to do this until we get to the thousandths place, and then we're going to stop. This is always going to keep repeating, okay? So this is going to be our decimal. And we're going to put this line over in the thousandths place, and that represents that it's a repeating decimal. That means it's always going to go on. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, okay? So 6/18 is equal to 333 thousandths, which also is written as 33 1/3, okay? And that's a benchmark fraction, and we're going to learn about those in a couple of days. Okay, so I'm going to let you practice now. Remember that the numerator always goes in the house.